Hello, everyone. This is the Illinois Green Party podcast. I'm here with my good friend Carla. What's up, Carla? And
Hi.
Carla is streaming to her peeps as well.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, and here's Chibu. Hi, Chibu. Um, yeah, so thought we'd do something a little different. Here we go. What's up, Chibu? And just let it free flow. We'll talk about the election and predictions. And go ahead. I know you got to go do something. I can tell. And it'd be super casual. So, I thought everybody could maybe say who they think is going to win and how many percentage points they think Jill's going to get. So, Carla, you wanna give it a shot?
Well, somebody already picked my favorite number. I just like sevens, but I hope that she gets at least five, like Nightingale. So I want to say five.
And who do you think is going to win the election? Or you have no idea?
I think Kamala's going to win.
Okay, cool. my host over here is my
I think
best
Harris is going to win.
on,
I'm sorry.
and she's gonna feed us numbers, and she's gonna keep track of people's predictions. So what's up, Chibu?
Hi, you can hear me all right?
I can hear you just fine. You haven't met Carla. She's a friend of mine from here in Carbondale.
Hi.
We talked today, and I'm like, you want to come on? Because why not? Yeah. So how's your day been going?
Good. Some wild things have been kind of popping up. One in Champaign, it looks like there was and is technological difficulties. Yeah. So I don't know if okay, let me finish the story. So basically everything went offline for like a couple hours. People are already standing in line for like 4 to 3 hours at least in like most of the places. So they were trying to get paper backups, but for whatever reason, that's not how we do it. I guess here in Champaign and in Springfield have that similar problem where they were not able to get out paper ballots. We really only had the electronic ones, or they didn't have enough or something. Because I was like, I feel like I did a paper ballot, but whatever kind of backups they were supposed to have, they didn't have it. And then, so that was first thing. The second thing is at 3:30, I got a phone call, and my team got a phone call from a person who voted for Chibu. That's me.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey, in my county of St. Clair, which includes Edwardsville,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the Metro East area, so a huge population of people who've shared with me that they're voting for me because they want an anti-war, anti-genocide, poor priest candidate." And for whatever reason, there's not a write-in circle for me. And there is a possibility that there is not a fill-in circle for Jill.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Unexpected.
my God.
I didn't know. And so here's what we learned. One, the person came in and was like, I would like the list of qualified write-ins for our district. My name was on the list. It took them a while to get the list, but at least my name was on the list. Secondly, they got the paper ballot and they're filling it in. Or no, they got the paper ballot in the mail. So they did mail-in voting. And they didn't end up they spoiled it. So they went back to the thing in person. They are looking and they say, we want to write in Chibu Sonye. So they started filling out the ballot. They had to pause when they saw the 13th district. And they're like, oh, there's not even like a space for the write-in. And so they go and do some investigation. They're calling people, like they're at the polling place talking to the election officials. And they say, oh, well, if her name's not, even though her name is on the sheet, if there's not a write-in area, I mean, she didn't do the paperwork correctly. And then they said, oh, wait, she did do the paperwork correctly. Unfortunately, there was just some kind of error.
Whoa.
So here's what we're going to have you do. Just go ahead and fill in her name as it's written down. And you don't need to fill in any circle. Just go ahead and write in the name, and that's going to count, and that's going to be just fine. And so that's what they did, only for them to look up election law and say, if there's not like if you don't fill it in, then there's a possibility that the entire ballot will be spoiled and will be disregarded. And so that means that, one, people who early voted in Illinois with the vote in by mail, in at least in the county of St. Clair, didn't have the circle for write-in. And those are and so that's the first issue. The second issue is, now that they see the problem, there's no way to change the ballot. And so then they're giving advice which may potentially have your entire ballot be disregarded. And again, this is it's actually a huge district, which also has a lot of students. And I can absolutely I'm like, I looked for the receipts and I'm like, okay, it's right here. And I communicated with the county, and that blew my mind.
That, you know what this reminds me of? When I hate to bring up, painful past, but when Bernie was running in 2020 in Iowa, and I was watching Status Quo, and I can't think of her name. It was Jen, the girl that used to co-host with him, was on the ground, and they were tracking it. They knew what was going on. Then all of a sudden, the app said quality control, and everything froze, and they didn't get the numbers until the next day. So it was a toss-up between him and Pete Buttigieg, Mayor Pete, that idiot. So they went into the next state not knowing who won Iowa. And just so y'all know, Illinois is hardcore blue. So if there's a mistake, it's on the Dems. It sounds very familiar.
It has been it really has been like, okay, the way this works is every individual has their own small part that they are disconnected from the larger group of like the DNC or the Illinois Democrats. Mm-hmm. However, because they are Democratic, like they're Democrat elected officials and they have that D next to their name, there's this fuel and line of, let's just make these technicalities, and no one's going to notice because there's no green. There's no one really cares. So they're always trying to make it so you don't notice these things. But the minute you notice it, they literally hate democracy. It hurts.
Wow. I can't remember who was telling me. Somebody was telling me yesterday or a couple days ago that they weren't sure if they could vote for Jill, and they asked for the write-in. You're allowed to ask, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wish I remember who I was talking to. And it flustered the election judges. They're like, you want what? I don't know. Hey, do you know where that is? I don't know. And I'm like, oh my God. So for people that don't understand, this is what we're up against. The signature requirements are outrageous to be on the ballot. For whatever signatures you gather, half of them will get thrown out. So you got to collect at least double, if not 4 times, to make sure. And the disparity in numbers, I don't know what you had to do, but
12,000.
12,000. And what does the Democrats have to do and the Republicans have to do?
Less than 1,000, actually. It was 500 and 700.
Yeah.
Like,
so why do we have to get 12 to 24 times the other parties when we already don't have the money? We don't have, it's like we don't have big donors. We don't do that here. The most you can donate is $3,300 for the president. That's it.
And for Congress.
I didn't know that, so I wasn't gonna say.
Yeah.
So what's your prediction? So my friend Yvonne over here is gonna keep track. This is Chibu.
I love Illinois, and my heart breaks for all the individual Democrats who may end up being unhappy at the end of this election cycle. I love every single one of them, my parents included. I believe that Kamala Harris will win Illinois. However, I'm having a strong feeling that she will not win the Electoral College or be very close, and the slim margin will lead to Trump. Unfortunately, I don't want Trump to win. Mostly because I want neither of them to win. Trump and Kamala Harris are really just the two sides of the same coin for me. But yeah, after I was sharing this with some folks. After the DNC in Chicago, which I went to the March on DNC and I participated. The air in Chicago was it's Kamala because nothing else, and that they would have been willing to push like Biden through the primary, even as a corpse. Like when I tell you 17% of all the people who I spoke to about that were like, yes, we will be fine with Biden. The tipping point was the DNC, and after the DNC absolutely refused to allow a Palestinian, like a pre-approved, pre-scripted Palestinian to speak on that stage.
For 2 minutes.
Right? They brought in a foreign, like, they brought in an Israeli who, again, let them be great. Well, they're people. They're people in the larger global society. However, they're not American, and they weren't related to like Americans. They just happened to be Israelis from like wherever. And that pivotal point of elevating a foreign person outside of like an American, I really believe was that slip. So we can't vote for her. So we're gonna vote for Jill. We're gonna vote for Claudia. We're gonna write in, or we're not gonna vote. And this is the thing, is reason why I think Trump is gonna win. And again, I'm so sorry to all of my Democratic friends and family who will be very sad at the end of this day, potentially. But I almost didn't vote. I didn't even want to come out to vote. And I've been holding that in of like, and I was running for office. But if I wasn't running for office and wasn't staying engaged, this would potentially been the first election since I was 18 that I would have almost not voted. And I voted in I vote in the odd year elections. So I vote every single year in Illinois because we have every single year. The amount of people I genuinely believe are going to stay home this cycle is going to be what tips it. It's going to be people just not voting, not doing the presidential one. And so that could be like a wasted vote. But a lot of people, I believe, even in Illinois, are just not going to come out to vote. And that's going to be the defining nail on this coffin of the Democratic Party, because if they're not able to turn out that vote this year, it's going to prove that you cannot be this warmonger, genocidal party in these United States of America.
Right.
The common people don't like it.
Right. And I think it's going to be because of places like Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, that, the CARE poll had Jill winning. And those people are going to tip it in that state. They're going to vote for Jill, and then that's going to leave everybody else to like figure out where they're going, and it's probably going to tip it to Trump because, we're going to stay. We're going to keep building. This isn't over today.
Nope.
Yeah. So, the more votes we get, the more power we have to like come back again, and 5% gives us funding. It gives us hopefully ballot lines. In Illinois, we need somebody for governor to get, I think it's 5%. I still haven't looked that up. I couldn't get a straight answer from the people here in Jackson County. They weren't sure. They're like, call Springfield. I don't know. So
nobody knows. In the comments, there's someone named Kay. Shout out, thank you for watching us. That I should sue the DNC and the Illinois Democrats and the State Board of Elections. That's actually not outside of the realm of possibility, particularly because of this, like there's not a write-in, which it doesn't hurt. It hurts me in my campaign, but what it really does is hurt the people who who did research, who learned, and they weren't and so they were educated voters or high potential voters. And so those people are not able to have their vote be directed. And so that's really bad. At the same time, there has been those unclear answers. There is consistently, like you said, Jacksonville doesn't know.
Jackson
Springfield
County.
doesn't know. Jackson County doesn't know. And then they'll go, okay, just call Chicago, or they'll always redirect you because they're just these general numbers. 5% of what number? 5% of this specific link in this specific day in this specific election cycle. But because like it's not until you fight back and you push to get the exact numbers that you can even potentially get something. And that makes absolutely no sense, because that it really means that if you're not a Democrat, they don't assume that you're even going to put in that effort. And so, yeah, I'm worried that the only way for Illinois to change is through lawsuits. I was hoping, I think at the beginning of this election cycle, I was like, hard, like sheer strength of will is what's gonna, it's the American spirit. Like, we're just gonna drive and try.
Mm-hmm.
These rules, these laws, the fact that you'll have, I'm getting like township supervisor signatures for some people in the Green Party locally here who want to run for office for 2025. And in the basic packet that was given to us by the township, they didn't have any information as an independent candidate or as a new political party. On the packet that was created by the city township, that's how much of an erasure they want to have. And the idea is like, well, when we don't do it on purpose, we've just never had a third party ask. So it didn't really happen. But yeah, those are yes, we might have to sue. And I don't know where we're going to get a lawyer, but there are people who believe in this.
I do. I met one last night. We went to, and shout out to everybody here. So sorry, I'm glad you mentioned comments. I was just listening to you. So we got Abdul Jones on Facebook says, "Go Jill and Butch." And then my buddy Gokhan, hi. Yeah. And then there's the one that I think you were talking about. Yeah. Yep. Definitely should sue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not good. Oh, this is what? Finger red number 1. Like number 6. Make with clicks, folks. Aw.
Support
That's
green.
Carla's friend. I'm not good at this. Yeah. So yeah. So my buddy Gokhan thinks Trump's going to win tonight and buckle up for a soft landing. That's what that other comment was about. So yeah. Yeah, like and subscribe and all that good kind of stuff. Anyway, I forgot where I was going with that. So that's just craziness. They don't know what to think about us. It's because, they haven't made space. They do that on purpose. Oh, there's a fortune teller in the house. Okay. Oh, and that reminds me of what I was watching Kim Iverson today. And she was doing destiny cards for the election. And
destiny cards.
Yeah, so she said that because we're not going to find out till Thursday is her prediction. Yeah, okay. And Trump got the Queen of Clubs, which is supposed to be really good. And then Kamala got the 9 of Spades, which is the death card.
Oh.
So she said it was right last time in 2016. It was spot on. Yeah, everybody thought Hillary was going to get it, but Hillary's cards were bad. And she was like the lone voice in the wilderness saying that Trump was going to win, and then he won. But it might be that national vote versus the electoral college thing. But I did want to say that we did meet a lawyer last night. We went to the screening of Where Olive Trees Weep. And it was highly emotional. I got choked up and had to step out. Yeah, but we had pretty good turnout, maybe about 60, 65 people at SIU. Uh-oh. Carla's laughing. Uh-oh, did I do something? Yeah, it was very emotional, but it was very good. It was told from the point of view of this woman that became a journalist in Palestine. She's a Palestinian woman, and she got thrown into a torture chamber so many times that they had to reconstruct her spine. But it's not stopping her. And she was the main focus of the movie, just telling about her experience. And then these people would come on, and this one girl felt bad because she had been staying home from the protests, and like all her cousins and family were out there getting hurt, so she went, and her cousin got shot, I believe, or something. So she started smacking the IDF soldier in the face. She's like, I had it, she's like 16. Well, of course they come in the middle of the night and just snatch her and put her in prison. Yeah. So it was very good and very emotional. And I think some people that hadn't been part of our ceasefire group and stuff came, and I think that was really good. So Vitengale says, I give treasonous Trump supporters this card. Uh-oh.
The sound card?
So what is it?
I thought it might be a clown card, potentially.
The Joker card.
The Joker card.
Oh,
I forgot I had myself muted.
We were wondering why you were so quiet over there.
I just so quiet. I don't talking.
So dainty. Very demure.
There you go.
Very green, very demure.
Yeah. So IOF, KKK, USPD, all the same, abolish police.
Yep.
The police that we have is not what we need. We need community people that come help. The protect and serve thing.
But a legal like mandate to actually protect, serve, and be a deterrent. I learned, and so this is why I use the word deterrent. I learned that if you are a potential DV survivor and you get a restraining order on someone, or if you generally get a restraining order on people, if that person's violating it until like there's a physical harm shipped to you, or even afterwards, the police don't have a legal need and mandate to actually stop a crime from happening.
Mm-hmm.
They can't preempt, not even preemptively. If you're told this is something that's happening, I think they're going to harm me, they're right here, they can literally say, nope. Uvalde is a good example, another example of where like they don't actually technically have to put themselves out. They can just do nothing and wait for it to be finished.
Please protect capital.
Police protect capital
and property.
Yes.
That's capital.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Continue, Carla. If you want
What else is there to say? That's it. Police protect capital. They're not here to protect you. They're here to protect the rich.
Yeah. Yeah, I
keep
did
you downtrodden.
I did hear a Radio Lab one time talking about that. That this woman had a protective order against her ex-husband because he'd been violent. He snatched the kids. She was begging, pleading, trying to get the police to go find him. Of course, she knew the license plate, the truck, everything. He's got the kids. I'm scared. He's violent, blah, blah, blah. He killed them because they wouldn't do anything. Yeah. And pulled up to the police station with them. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. I wish I could think of the name of the episode. And there, Radio Lab, I used to really love when I listened to NPR. And there was also a story on there about this guy on the subway in New York got on, and then the doors didn't close, and he thought that was weird. And they were waiting for police to get on, so the police got on, and they went up in the cab with the conductor. And come to find out, there was a known serial killer on the train. And they waited till the person attacked, and it was over before they came out. And the guy got stabbed a bunch of times.
I was thinking about serial killers the other day. Like, why don't we care about serial killers? We care about serial killers that kill a few dozen people. Like, we have people that are killing thousands right now. Like,
that is so true. That is so true. Yeah.
And it's in the name of the state, which is also really hurtful because you're doing it in the name of these people, but it's, as you said, it's in the name of protecting oligarchical capital and assets and property.
Absolutely. And if you call them, though, so they did this experiment where they called police departments around the country. That's not what they think. They, like when you ask them, they say, well, we're here to protect and serve the people. That's what they think. But that's not what happens. So, and, I live in Carbondale. So far, the police have been pretty good. They've protected our ceasefire protests. I mean, I think it all depends on where you live, too. Yeah, there are too many. But I guess I got sidetracked here, which is cool. I'm kind of liking the free flow. Sabby Sabs and Shama Sawant are live now. So if y'all want to go check that out, or you can hang with us.
Stay here. You can always rewatch them later.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, what was the Jill Stein prediction? So Kim Iverson Destiny card said Trump's going to win. He's got the Queen of Clubs, which is supposed to be very auspicious. And Kamala got the Death card. What did Jill's card say, Yvonne?
Look it up.
She's looking it up. I think she said it was pretty good.
It's pretty good for tomorrow.
It's good for tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, today is the day. It was supposed to be a day of introspection and reflection.
Today was supposed to be a day of introspection and reflection.
Right.
And the two that I gave you is for Thursday. The two that I gave you on Trump and Kamala, because I don't think we're going to know anything for Thursday.
Right. But for Wednesday, your success is in your hands.
Right.
Provided you do not confuse ends and means. You are not dependent upon others, but stand upon your own feet.
For Wednesday, your success is in your own hands.
You want to help others as well as yourself.
You want to help others as well as yourself.
And it's a Jupiter day, which is described as the greater fortune. Jupiter governs joy, luck, and well-being.
It's a Jupiter day, and it governs joy, luck, and well-being for Jill. Yes. So I think there's going to be a good outcome as far as what our expectations are. And loud thinker. Yeah. Netanyahu is the serial killer of our time. And Jill might get over 3%. We got 2 for 7. Did I get my percentage yet?
No.
I think it's going to be 6.
Okay.
Oh, the national will be 6?
6%
or in Illinois?
For Jill, national.
I actually think that may generally happen, mostly because it's a popular vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not for college, and also a lot of the folks who want to vote but do not want to vote for Jill for Harris do want to vote for Jill Stein.
Mm-hmm.
A majority of the people who across the board. And so I think that Michigan will help with that. It would have helped if Jill was on our ballot in Illinois, but obviously they kicked her off because they're trash. So I think I'll take 6%. I'm here for that. I want a little 5.5.
Let's fucking go. I know what that means.
Viking Girl says, I heard Florida and Tennessee have been called for treason so far.
Oh yeah.
Did you say treason?
It's called
Yeah,
treason.
Trump.
Oh, okay.
Trump is treason.
Trump is treason.
Same thing.
Treason is Trump.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Tennessee and Florida are both, test beds for conservative policy. Like they are just as right as you can get.
yep. So Loud Thinker says, imagine if we had ranked choice voting, which is something we're working on here, right?
Yes, we
Right?
are. Yes, we are. We are advocating with the Illinois Assembly in Springfield to push an actual bill to get ranked choice voting, particularly for the presidential and the congressional elections.
Mhm.
However, we also wanted to trickle down and get amendments to do all elections. There's going to be a separate thing for primaries because the primaries are only for the two major parties. So like the Green Party is not a part of the current Illinois primaries as it is now. So yes.
Is
we
that a
are doing
percentage
that.
thing? Do we need to get a percentage to make that
We
happen?
do. For the governor's race, we need to get 5%. So the top ticket has to be the 5% of the general of the amount of people who went for the general election. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. Someone
we got-
also said,
Got some love from Ohio.
yes. Someone also said that there's a possibility that even if we got Jill on the ballot for Illinois, it would like for president, it still wouldn't have gotten us ballot access.
Right.
It has to be the governor.
Has to be,
Just
yeah,
to
it
be
has to be
clear.
the governor in the state of Illinois. Nothing else counts.
Yep, that's
So, yeah, very specific.
mhm.
Yeah. So we need a candidate. So we're going to be searching high and low to find somebody that's willing to take that on. Is Chibu the only one who ran on this panel? Yes,
At the current moment.
at the moment. Carla's my friend from Carbondale. Wanted to hop on and share some love. And Chibu is running. I guess the election is tonight for the 13th district for Congress, United States Congress. And I am your host. Much respect, Chibu. Joe Cuz. There you go.
Thank you. I know I do like to, well, we're here to talk. It was a overall good experience, and I will be running again. So have no fear, everyone who wrote me in 2 years and 4 years, as we actually build this coalition, you will see Greens up and down this ballot, and you'll see me on the ballot. Hands down, it's gonna happen. This year was learning and seeing all the difficulties that they will put us up against us. That's gonna change. I want to let other people know that it's hard to run for office, mostly because there's a constant like you're going to fail regardless, and the need to just to let yourself be co-opted by others. But it's worth it. If you've ever seen yourself as a public servant, not a politician, but a public servant, as someone who likes to, I guess, make laws, but kind of see things here and there, if you've been inspired by myself and by others, even Jill Stein, please consider actually running for office. The real issue, I would say, in the Green Party at the current moment is, and even across the board for third parties, is that we don't have candidates who are willing to put themselves out there in public space. Your address is out there, your emails out there, people can like hound you for things. It's hard to be in the spotlight. Just remember that even though you may be the face of something, you are not alone. So please, 2025 is still open. So look at the local elections. If you're third party, it's the filings between November 12th, so Monday, and then November 18th. You sometimes only need a couple of signatures. But really, 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 if you are a young person like me, or if you're an older person who's done this before and you still have one more cycle or one or two more cycles in your heart, reach out to us, be a candidate, so that way we can continue to uplift people like myself, so younger candidates who want to get some more experience. If you've been a volunteer in other places, consider taking a campaign manager role, and we're going to be building this thing. So there's training that we have. You're not without resources, but really, 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 one person running is super cool and great. Imagine if in Illinois we had, just like in New Jersey, a full slate of 19, 20 congressional candidates and mayors across the board, even in Chicago, because that's something that people have been, potentially talking about. There's nothing too small and nothing too menial in our community. We have to start small, but it is important for us to keep thinking big and brighter.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. So we got some comments here. Dang, Chibu is Panther we need. I agree.
Yes, let me be Black Panther.
Loud thinker. We swim against big currents. That's not a loss. It's the trying and the doing that matters, I think. Because it's kind of the thing where everybody thinks there needs to be someone, but trying to convince someone to do it. Like, we all agree, yeah, we should have somebody to run for city council. We should have somebody to run for governor. Okay, what about you? And they're like,
Can't be me.
Yeah.
Can't be me. I'm like, what about school board?
It could be me. There's nobody would vote for me.
I would vote for you.
You would be surprised, the people who actually see themselves in you and in me. So it was Carla, right? Carla, come on. We're going to talk offline. We're going to see what you're interested in. Okay, we have our little candidate guide. We're going to get all of it, and we're going to make it so that way you get on the ballot.
You're going to be like, what did you get me into, Edie? Right. Yep. You said, agreed, loud thinker. Yep. Jill's live, but playing field is anything but even. That's 100% true. It's tilted on purpose. And originally we were never supposed to have parties. George Washington called them factions. And he said, that's a bad idea. And here we are. So we let them in, we let them take over. And now here we are. And I like to bring up that Abraham Lincoln was a third party. He was the first Republican elected. Before that, it was the Democrats and the Whigs. And the Whigs went bye-bye. So I'd be happy to see the Democrats go bye-bye. and then we'll work on the other one. We'll get somebody else to kind of like, we need multi-party. So everybody can have their space and push for the things that they care about.
We do. We need an unbought party. And I really like the green. I've really been liking the Green Party and the home that I found here. And, meeting cool people like the two of you. Hey. And seeing this grow. I believe that this election, the Democrats and a bit of the Republicans, but mostly the Democrats, wanted to bury the third parties and make it so that way you never think about them and you only see them as spoilers. I think that myth was really debunked this election, even though we don't have all the results yet. And hopefully Jill Stein gets to that 5% and above 6%, Edie. But yeah, I just think it failed so much. That's also part of why I'm in the mindset that Trump is going to win. When you isolate your base, when you completely make it so that way, even the people who bought into this system are unable to have any wiggle room. Fascism is wild to see in person.
Yeah,
in real life.
They kicked out some people that were invited to was it a waltz? event, Kamala and Walt's event. I think it was, I can't remember where it was. They were invited because they were Palestinian. We just kicked them out. No, you got to go. And they were doing facial recognition. Saying, oh,
Window Rock with the it was the Window Rock.
oh, Window Rock, the Navajo Nation. Yeah. It's their land. And they were saying they had snipers and they were, you know, to protect Kamala and them.
It wasn't Kamala.
Oh, just Walt, sorry. And yeah, so my friend Yvonne's got the big story over there. Yeah, and they were kicking people out. And the girl that they recognized had her kids with her, and she was Native, and she was supposed to be there. It's her land. You know, and we think fascism is just Trump. Come on. It's here. It's just fascism, low key, light. We just kind of secretly.
It's
just
just how fast you're going.
Yeah.
The only difference between the Democratic and Republican parties is how many people the others are. Like
Mhm.
the Republicans is everybody but the white supremacists. Like that is the other group. Like the Democrats, like some of the minorities are okay, and some of the minorities are not.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, they say nice things and they promise things and then they do none of them.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we got some more Vitengale. 100% powers that be, one is convinced of the false binary in electoral politics and other areas of life. That is very true. Got lots of comments tonight. I like that. Loud Thinker. Some mainstream media organizations have their covers ready since last week for both scenarios. Kind of like that. What was it? Dewey Wins, the paper. Oh man. Kamala. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. And you know what? I don't care. She's for genocide. So, number one is if Kamala loses, Jill's photo on the top shelf. Spoiler. The woman who stole the presidency from Kamala Harris. And I have been trying my best to get out in front of this. If Kamala loses, it's her fault. 67% of people want the genocide to stop. They want an arms embargo. We do what we want it. You said, hey, I'm good. I like genocide. I'll just keep sending the money and the arms, you know, because my donors told me I have to. You know, those people up behind me at the DNC. Yeah.
It doesn't help.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little bit more dire than that. Like,
oh yeah,
people that are committing the genocide, do you think that they wouldn't kill them?
Yeah. Well, that's always a possibility.
That is a whole possibility.
I know that's always possible. I mean, look, they oh, somebody's joining me from the Green Party. Who's this?
This may be the Missouri Greens. They heard about ours. We're
Oh.
connected partners. And they said, hey, if you're doing something and we're doing something, maybe we can get connected. So I shared the little live stream. Hi, Lauren!
Hey. Wow, this is fun. Well, welcome. What's your name? Tell us who you are and who you think's going to win and how many percentage points you think Jill's going to get. Those are our three things.
Was that it for me?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm Lauren in St. Louis. We're just starting our watch party. And we're just getting all set up here. So we haven't really started our predictions yet, but we're thinking 5%.
What's your name again, hon?
Lauren.
Lauren says 5% from Missouri, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Howdy, neighbor.
Yeah, we're going to have comments from people, and we'd love to see if you have time to make some comments when everybody gets here so people can hear more from Illinois, if that's okay.
Sure. I'm not very technical, but, you know, I'll do my best. Chibu can handle it. Number one is, oh, did I do this one already? Yep, sorry. Kamala wants to be VE commander of World War III. Wow. Whew. Sorry. That gives me chills. World War III, there's a possibility if it went nuclear, it would be over in 72 minutes, according to Scott Ritter.
I did recently. I saw that on Twitter. That doesn't make me feel confident. And it also said something about like 60% of the world's population in that 72 minutes would be gone.
Mhm.
That makes me more comfortable than a Trump presidency, though. Let me put that way.
How so?
I only got 72 minutes to worry about this shit.
Fair, you know?
I ain't got to suffer.
Won't be forever. Won't be
Yeah.
forever.
We'll just move on to the next life and see what that's about.
Oh,
Well, for the 40%, it's going to be hell on earth. You know. Oh, we lost Missouri. Aw. Hopefully they come back.
They will, and then we can let them stay on the screen until they maybe want to say something.
Oh, stay off. Okay, yeah, I didn't ask her to add her. So, but if the platform and policies were that good, this would be a landslide. Exactly.
oh yeah, exactly, right?
You know,
Like everybody would have got off the couch for something that would actually help us.
They're not even promising much. They're just like,
No.
we might do this, we might do that.
Like, you see the other guy? Vote for me. Shit.
Yeah, other guy.
That's all that they've got.
I know. Yep. How long did it take Kamala to put her policies on her website? Like months? I think Yvonne has something. You guys talk. I'm
on her website. I'm about to look.
What's
I don't
that?
think there's anything still there.
Can you ask Missouri about how Amendment 3 is going?
Oh, can you ask your friend in Missouri how Amendment 3 is going? What's Amendment 3?
That's their abortion.
Oh, the abortion?
Right to abortion. Yeah.
Right to
I'll text
abortion.
her now.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okie doke. Let's see. Haha, loud thinker. Yeah, exactly. Green Party is powerless until it comes to blaming them for the DNC putting a stick in its own spokes. That's a good one.
In their heart and soul.
Yeah, we're to be dismissed until we ruin things for them. Yeah, Joe Cuz, the Dems are the more effective evil. Now that is true. They made wars and homelessness fashionable. They replaced civil rights with symbolisms.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that says it so well. You missed it, Carla.
Oh, two shakes. So I'm on the KamalaHarris.com website, and she mentions Donald Trump's Project 2025 agenda 4 separate times in each one of the little like issue points.
Mm-hmm.
So wild. And it was definitely like at least 30 to 45 days until she got something.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a long time. That's for sure. And Obama promised to codify Roe, and then he's like, not a priority.
They always want to election campaign on it.
Mm-hmm.
You're always looking. That's the other thing I learned about this election. If you are in the cycle, like your job is to get people elected, it never ends. There's always another election because they come on top of each other,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of the state that you're in, and that's how they make that money.
Yeah, they like to keep it as a wedge issue so they can fundraise off of it. I see we got 61 people watching. Can everybody like our stream? That would be very helpful. This is a good night.
Hey,
Yeah, that's awesome.
And if you all don't know, I'm Chibu Asonye, Chibu for Illinois, Chibu for Congress, and I'm in Central Downstate Illinois, running for Congress, aisle 13.
So Joe Cuz says, referring to the Dems, and passed NAFTA and cut child welfare as a right. Yeah. And the good points. I'm behind on the comments. So, we're losing Chibo. Mo's Cantina just called it for Jill. That's from The Simpsons, right? Nice. Yep. Oh, Chibu, where'd you go? Oh, Vito. So this is the person that I just met last night at the showing of where Olive Tree Sweep. Had a very nice conversation. Used to be the chair of the Illinois Green Party. Welcome, Vito. So awesome. Yeah, this is kind of fun. Oh, Chibu, you froze. Leave and come back. Yep, that's always what you do. So back to the two of us. She's pretty energetic, isn't she? Yep. She's very sweet and got a lot of good ideas. I did hear that there's ways to get things passed, and I didn't realize that we have like referendums or something in the state. Like we can divest from Israel. That was $30 million sent from Illinois, and we can do all kinds of stuff. And I had no idea. Everyone watching, please like the stream and subscribe. We do this every Tuesday. Thanks, Loud Thinker. Joe, I'm going to put out an Amber Alert for Chibu. She'll be back. It's a technological Amber Alert. There she is. Are you back? Hang on, let me add you.
1 minute.
Oh, sorry. 1 minute. So are you learning anything? So my friend Yvonne over here is watching the Jill Stein.
She just finished speaking, and they're
Yeah.
they're gonna go through a number of people and bring Butch on by Zoom, but her comments were very touching.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
way she thanked people. It's just
So Jill's on there. Gave a very heartfelt thank you for all the hard work. Of course, we probably don't have any numbers yet. And then Butch is going to speak here in a little bit.
and Medea Benjamin.
And Medea Benjamin from Code Pink. Yeah.
And Joan Wright is speaking from Workers Strike Back now.
Who? Joan Wright?
From Workers Strike Back.
Joan Wright from Workers Strike Back. I was telling you about Shama Sawant earlier, Carla. That she was elected as the only socialist ever to be elected in America, I think, for Seattle City Council. And she got the first $15 an hour minimum wage passed in Seattle. She got rent control by going after Amazon. Amazon tried to recall her, and it didn't work because she rebutted with attacks Amazon for rent control. She won all kinds of stuff, and then I think she was there for 10 years. And she decided she wanted to launch something nationally. So she started Workers Strike Back, which I am a member of. And they endorsed Jill. So, and their goal is a little bit different than the campaign. They want Kamala to lose because genocide. So that is their goal. That's why they're supporting Jill. Because genocide does not deserve to win. Your friend Vitengale knows about Workers Strike Back. Yep. Yeah, I've been following her for years. She spoke at our March for Medicare for All event that we had across the country in 2021, I think it was. She needs about 8-9 million votes to get that 5%. I don't know either.
It depends on how many.
Depends on how many people vote.
Yeah.
If people vote for the couch, then it'll be less, I guess. So, Chibu, you ready to come back on? Yeah? Okay. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. We were just going through our comments. Joe Cuz, if Kamala wins, it will embolden the Zionists that there are 0 red lines. Exactly my point. That's what I keep trying to explain to my friends. And the Democrats won't do the things that you want them to do for you. They'll tell you, but then they won't do it. Click the like button if you hadn't yet. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, we have lots of people watching. 66 and only 2 likes. Come on, 66 people. Yeah, everybody deserves to hear this conversation, I think. Okay.
Facts.
So what happened to you, Chibu? Joe Cuz was going to send out an Amber Alert for you.
So my computer died, the battery ended. However, I wanted to charge it, so the mic that goes from my computer blocks the charger, so I couldn't have them both at the same time, and now I'm on my phone.
Okay. Whatever works.
Facts.
Carla was having technical difficulties before they came on
muted.
today.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about now.
No, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you go.
Vitengale is a fellow Transcend streamer.
Oh,
I belong to a stream group on Twitch.
Hey, fun.
Welcome.
What's the theme of the stream?
Transcend?
What kind of thing is it? Oh yes, I heard. Well, what do you talk about? Maybe
Transcend is the streaming group that I belong to. I also am a streamer. I am an individual. I am a streamer, but I belong to a group called Transcend, which is a lot of LGBTQ people, but it's not all. But yeah, we support each other.
I love that.
Yeah. And I was telling Carla that they're starting, or maybe it's already been started. There's a lavender caucus, there's a black caucus, and a women's caucus on the national level of the Green Party that I just learned about because I've only been here since July. So anybody listening, that might be a thing. Just go to what is it, Green Party US?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm a member of the National Black Coalition or the National Black Caucus. So we're active. We got folks in Illinois and Michigan and New Jersey. So don't be a stranger.
And Mr. Joe Harrington says, then let's let the couch be pressed.
If not Jill, let the couch be president. I'll take it.
Yeah, that might be an improvement. We can't have Jill. Can't have Jill. I don't want nobody, baby. Oh, sorry. Show my age. Joe Cuz.
I love that song.
Oh,
I also thought that when you said if I can't have you, I said it was in my head. So thank you for singing it out loud.
You're welcome. She just had Lady Gaga perform at a rally last night in Vegas. Gaga just performed in Tel Aviv. No. Oh, sweetie, no. Oh, that's so sad. Because she's so talented. Don't use your talented for bad things. Come on.
Promote good.
You almost always do.
Kamala Harris' channel on Twitch also has the word Palestine blocked when they're not on slow mode. And oh man. Hey, Jay's on here. What's up, Jay? One of our new Cook County Green Party folks. Yeah. Let's see. Helping us out with the caucuses. www.e.org caucuses. So anybody that's interested in the Lavender Caucus, the Black Caucus, or the Women's Caucus. And I hope Chibi becomes president in 16 years when she's old enough. Aw.
You all are very kind.
Right?
LOL. But do remember that president is a figurehead. Okay? So we need to have more than that. So I'll let someone else be president. I don't know if that's something. I just feel like they would harm me. I don't want that in my life.
Just give me control of things that I can help people with. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, senator or cabinet position be fine. Really wish for a day to see this party win for everyone. Me
Yes.
too.
And outside of, unlike Kamala Harris, while I'm very much happy to work with all people across the political spectrum and stuff, I will make sure that like the Party for Socialism or Liberation and Cornwells's Party for the People and the Libertarians, I'll have other folks who are actually pro-worker on my cabinet or a part of my team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just like yesterday or the day before, Jill announced that they were working with Claudia de la Cruz from PSL, like vote for Claudia here if you're both Greens and PSL, like in Indiana where Jill's not on the ballot, and I guess they are. And then like in Illinois, they want all the PSL to vote for Jill and stuff like that. They were doing like a strategic alliance, and I'm very hopeful that will become more of a thing, because that's the only way we're going to win. We have to join forces.
Here's to truly hoping.
Gaga is one of millions who were the victim of decades-long brainwashing and propaganda. Their ability to think independent is taken from them, sadly.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that on that movie last night. Some people just saying super vile things, and they look like mad. They look like they're crazy. This woman just saying kill them all. She's like, ah. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Yeah.
How do you become radicalized?
Wrapped in the Israeli flag. Actually wrapped in the flag. Yeah. It was frightening. Oh. How do you all become radicalized?
How do or how did?
How did or how do or are we? I'm not sure. You'll have to clarify. And Gokhan wants to know why you like libertarians.
Okay, let's talk about this real quick. How did y'all become rad guys? Okay, so first the libertarians. I would say, since people have been like wondering and asking in personal life, I actually see myself as more of a libertarian socialist. I see personal responsibility as a key foundation of like my part in a collective society. Okay, so the libertarians in my community appreciate small local government. They appreciate a small centralized, well, not centralized, but a smaller government that's efficient, uses our taxes well, and hopefully doesn't tax us too particularly much. But the focus on if we as local communities and then as a state community, if we each have clean water, if we see ourselves as one unit and a larger whole, mutual aid and things like that will actually promote our society and promote our economy and create more like an informal space. So that's why I like libertarians. I do believe in coalition building, but for whatever reason, I would say just my upbringing and how I was raised / my own personalness, libertarians and I also want a small, effective, tax-efficient government, which is important to me.
Okay.
And I wouldn't write libertarians off. I was a libertarian at one time. I voted for Gary Johnson twice.
Okay. I mean, one thing I do like about them that I think we agree on is the non-interventionism. That's the thing that I like.
Part.
Yeah. So, Green Party of St. Louis, are you ready to join or no? Thumbs up. I see you there. Yes. Okay. Sorry if we've been ignoring you. Well, hello.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, so we've been talking about libertarians and how we became radicalized.
Yeah. Well, we were hoping to hear an update on Chibu's campaign and your thoughts on the Green Party of Missouri and the Green Party of Illinois working together.
Yes. Hey, Lauren, thank you so much for inviting me and the Illinois Greens to join you all in your victory watch party. Don and I have been working tirelessly together this entire election cycle in our congressional campaigns. So I absolutely adore working with the Missouri Greens. What I see as the future, well, I guess the first thing is my campaign. A good update is we are every hour on the hour, we're getting updates of people who stayed in line and voted for myself, who wrote me in across all 7 districts. And that's been a very empowering feeling. And knowing that a write-in, because it's so difficult to be a write-in in Illinois, because it's difficult outside of Missouri here. We need over 25,000 signatures. Hearing and seeing people being willing to take that next step and demand that their votes matter and that it's clear and concise and accurate has been absolutely beautiful. While I do personally believe that our Democratic incumbent will end up being the ultimate victor in this particular sense, it is absolutely a win in my community in Illinois District 13 that we had write-in status, and I believe over 500 people will end up across our district writing in my name and casting an anti-war, anti-genocide, pro-peace vote. And people are still in line.
That's awesome. Joe Cuz says, "Look, Chibu looks like she won." you just got that. You got that air about you. I don't know. Have you seen any numbers, or this? It's going to take time to even tell.
It's going to take some time. The polls closed in terms of in line at 7. However, there were some technical difficulties with the machines in our district, which apparently also happened in some other states too. So whatever glitch happened in those states also happened in Illinois, which caused a delay. And so people are spending over 4 hours in line across our district and within our state.
Wow.
But yeah. And I want to say for the Missouri Greens and the future that I see, part of why the Missouri Greens and the Illinois Greens have a connection is because we're right next to each other. So some people may not know, generally speaking, that Illinois and Missouri have a state line. St. Louis is a big Missouri city that a lot of Illinoisans obviously have connections with. Mm-hmm. In my time in the Metro East community, that is where a lot of the organizing has been happening in the downstate Illinois side. Illinois often is separated, so it's Chicago is its own thing, and then the rest of the state will have something. And one of the goals we have for the next 2 to 4 years is working with the Missouri Greens and the Illinois Greens to ensure that there is that active, consistent collaboration, which would include rallying together at different points. So driving down to St. Louis or to Missouri when we can, you all coming up, particularly for the Metro East area, firing for each other and building up that anti-war coalition. So that way we are connected across the Midwest. Mm-hmm. What's happening in St. Louis is what's happening in the Metro East, which is what's happening in Edwardsville, which is a college town, Springfield, Champaign, Carbondale. Right now, a lot of us can feel distant because we're in farm country, but we are connected in our goals for change and our goals to uproot this duopoly. So we're going to continue to build and grow that anti-war base so that way we run candidates right? We're also working with our Party for Socialism and Liberation, since they have a particular philosophy when it comes to political change and how they engage electoral politics. The Green Party runs candidates. And just like Missouri ran a full slate of congressional candidates, we will in Illinois take what they did there and create our own full slate of candidates. Yes, across the board. So the connection between Missouri and Illinois will stay together and will continue to prosper as we coalesce in what we hold true and what we hold dear, which is the people, planet, and peace.
Joka says progressive Democrats are trying to squash the anti-war movement. Well, good luck with that, because
I
y'all
agree.
keep doing war. We did have some questions and comments in the chat. Going back a little bit, Loud Thinker says libertarian socialist, but libertarians believe in lifting all regulations and giving corporations to run free. What do you think about that?
Okay, yes and no, or more so, no and yes. Please remember that libertarian is a political spectrum in itself. Okay, so it is not a monolith. Now, libertarians are closer to the anarchist part of the political spectrum. So yes, lowering regulations on a federal level, so that way the states and the municipalities, which is where we want local government to be focused on, will have that power. So rather than leaving it to the federal government, we would want to leave it to the city and local places. And so I definitely understand, no restrictions, even like abolishing the Federal Reserve is something that many libertarians in my community advocate for. Ultimately, we believe that there is a role that government has in our lives, in our society, in our country. We want it to be small. We want it to be small. We want it to be limited, to be fair. However, what that limited government does will be some regulations. It will be, because ultimately, if you poison water in Chicago, it will go down to Missouri, because we're all connected. And so, yes, there's a larger government, but we do want small government to have that role in your lives. So yes, significantly less regulations. However, the regulations that will exist, because that's how government works and that's how society works, will be in the benefit of the people.
There you go. Yeah, and there's some things that only a national government can do. Only a national government can give you Medicare for all. And that's just paying the bills. There's some things that's good for, and I mean, if you've ever tried to apply for anything or get anything at all, the regulations are very steep and constant, and it's the means testing. So I see Missouri's back. We were wanting to know about, what is it, Proposition 3?
Yep.
Yeah, Prop 3, women's reproductive rights. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know the status yet. We'll have to check on it and give you an update very soon. We're just kind of getting our party started here.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that's a big one. That's like direct ballot measure. That's like we find in Missouri, when we take these measures directly to the people, they want progressive change. But when it has to go through the Democratic and Republican legislature, they block us. So yeah, we do as much of that as we can. That's how we got the legalization of marijuana, was taking it directly to the people.
Yep. Okay, well, keep us
And then
updated.
we also have ranked choice voting. They're trying to ban ranked choice voting in Missouri. So they're trying to make it a constitutional amendment to ban it. So we had a vote no on Amendment 7 campaign.
Wow. Yeah, they just want to lock it in for themselves, right? Wow. So you have ranked choice voting now, and they're trying to get rid of it?
We actually don't even have it, and they're trying to ban it.
It's like
and
a preemptive strike.
Yeah,
That's
and they
unfortunate.
put, the first line says, it will be illegal for um, people that are undocumented to vote, which already is illegal in
Yeah.
Missouri. They're trying to convince people to see that and think, oh, I'll vote yes for that. And then right underneath it, it says, we'll ban ranked choice voting. So they're trying to be tricky.
So who is they? Who put
Of
it
course.
forward?
The Republicans in the legislature in Missouri.
Okay. Okay. Wow. That's super shady. So I haven't got
That
to.
is the Republican playbook. Be
Yeah.
shady.
Mhm.
I haven't got to. Is it Saran? Batia? Out of Trump and Harris,
Democratic too.
who do you think is lesser evil for U.S. and for the world, considering what is happening in Gaza? Yeah.
Of the two evils,
Yeah. Anybody can take it.
Kamala Harris. I'm sorry, I shouldn't call her by her first name.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to say because she's currently doing evil. So.
Yeah, but Trump wants to get it over with. If he says that if he is elected, that he'll just send more bombs.
Yeah, but he's also got a big ego, so we might be able to. I don't know. Him and Netanyahu might do this, and he'd be like, "That's it." Who knows what's going to happen?
No, Netanyahu wants him to get elected too.
Oh, really? Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So, what do you think, Chibu? Here's the question: out of Trump and Harris, who do you think is the lesser evil for the U.S. and for the world? Yeah. Anything from?
Savvy Sabs is on. There's different speakers. So
Oh, okay.
Just to let people know, they're having their watch party in Dearborn, Michigan. The Stein
Oh,
campaign.
the Stein campaign is having their watch party in Dearborn, Michigan.
Oh.
Nice.
Whereas Kamala's feet will never tread.
Yeah, and Kamala won't even go there. So.
Mm-hmm.
Anarchist capitalist. Talking about the libertarian.
Yeah. Okay, so one of these days I actually yes, be a communist. Okay, that's one reason. In Illinois, there's absolutely there's absolutely nothing wrong with being a communist. Mostly because there's nothing wrong with being any particular type of political affiliation where you're constructing the means of how you want to live with production. It's just a way to organize society. But yeah, be a communist, be an anti-capitalist. That is in fact what one of my libertarian friends is. He's an anarchist.
Yeah, I can't quite go anarchy. I like a little rule of law.
No.
I don't know.
No.
So Loud Thinker says Trump pulling ahead in blue Virginia. Wow. And blue
Yeah.
Virginia.
I didn't think Virginia was a solid state. I thought it was a swing state.
I think it recently went blue, right? Definitely Harris.
It is. Virginia is blue. I learned that my sister lives in Virginia and she is surrounded by blue folks. So yeah, liberal Nikki Haley blue people are over in Virginia.
Okay. So Loud Thinker says definitely Harris is lesser of the two. No doubt about it. As Trump pulling ahead, I'm confident Putin has a bottle of champagne ready by his side.
Right?
I don't know.
All the dictators in the world, Kim Jong-un, Putin, Bibi Netanyahu, they're all going to celebrate if Trump makes it.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can jump in anytime, St. Louis. We're just kind of rocking and rolling back and forth.
Oh, you're great. Yeah, I just looked up 9% reporting Prop 3 is ahead. Yes, is ahead 63.7%. So I think we're really hopeful and optimistic about that. And I'll give you an update as we get more. Don, who's running for District 1 against Wesley Bell, who you might know took $12 million of APAC money to unseat Cory Bush. So Don's been challenging him. Maybe I'll try to hold up the Wesley Bell sellout banner in a second so you can see it. But he wanted to know if he could make some comments.
Sure, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're ready for you, Don. Tell them to start talking.
Yeah. Come tell us who you are and what you're about.
Sorry?
I said, come tell us who you are and what you're about. Because we don't know. I don't know a lot about Missouri, so that's
Who
why you're here.
is about the St. Louis Green Party?
Yeah. I've never.
Oh.
This is the first time meeting you guys, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a bunch of us here.
I see.
I'll try to see if I can get some people to come up. And maybe we made a bunch of reels about some of the stuff we've been doing lately where we've been really active. Maybe I can send some to you, Chibu, and you can see if they'll play.
Can they see me?
Yeah, they can see you, Don.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Come on in.
You ready to go?
Okay, everybody, can you hear me?
that okay?
We have been connecting with the Green Party of Illinois. This is the Green Party St. Louis Watch Party. And so we're going to be watching lots of different things. We're going to be watching a few folks in Illinois. We're going to be watching reports of the Missouri elections. We're not going to be watching reports of the national election between, what's their name, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Since the press treats the Green Party like we don't exist, I thought it would be appropriate for us to return the favor and treat the national Democrats and Republicans like they don't exist. And just continue out. You can see which one of you, you'll be a victim of which party tomorrow morning. But I'm Don Pitts. I was running for Missouri Congressional District 1. I think it's probably about time for me to concede that to the millions of dollars that went into the campaign of Wesley Bell. But there's one thing that has bothered me about the news over the last few days that I wanted to comment on. And what I find particularly disturbing is all of the references I hear to election interference. Has anybody else heard of a reference to election interference on the news? Well, I mean, I remember as I read history that in 1953, there was a guy named Arbenz in Guatemala who won a free and fair election. And the United States worked getting him thrown out of office so that the military could come in. From my point of view, that's what's called election interference, when you throw somebody out in a coup. I remember it was in 1956. Bob, you might have to help me pronounce his name. The president of Iran, Mossadegh 53. Okay, when he was thrown out, and I think that to throw out a democratically elected president in Iran in a CIA-sponsored coup, that would fairly be called election interference. I remember in 1959, there was a revolution in Cuba. Did anyone hear that revolution in Cuba? And did you know that soon after that happened, they tried to kill Fidel Castro? And the people who did that were the good Democrats, John Kennedy and Robert F. Kennedy, who hated Fidel Castro and wanted to get rid of him. Now, if election interference is providing videos that are misinformation, I would say that trying to kill somebody is definitely fits into the category of interfering with the politics of another country. Well, then they tried to kill Fidel Castro a second time. And then they tried to kill Fidel Castro a third time. I could be saying this for a long time. How many times did they try to kill Fidel Castro? Does anybody know? I think it's... Jan, did you know?
Well, I think more than 600.
600 times, okay. I lost count at about 50. But anyway, that definitely happened. I remember very well in 1973. That was their 9/11. What happened in 9/11 of 73? Does anyone remember? Chile. And what happened to Chile? Who was killed in Chile in addition to hundreds or perhaps thousands of working people and progressives in Chile? They killed the president of Chile with help from the CIA. Now, I think if you go into a country and help kill the leader and hit all of the elected officials, I would call that election interference. But do you ever hear anything about election interference in the United States? You know, it's always somebody doing a video or doing something which is utterly trivial in the context of what the U.S. has done for a period of time. Is there any examples that anybody else has, either in Illinois or in St. Louis, of people of the U.S. interfering in the elections of many other countries? Jan?
Not Missouri, but in Iowa, Shadow App, they took the primary away from Bernie, right in front of our eyes.
Yeah. So they definitely interfere with elections in the United States, include totally ignoring the campaign of Jill Stein, doing everything they can to get the Green Party kicked off the ballot in as many states as they can, making the Green Party distracted from elections and talking about the issues by not only not giving us coverage, but by acting like there's only two candidates in the election. So I would say that there is massive election interference going on in the United States, both in the United States history and what's going on today in the United States. Okay. We have people here who have been involved in campaigns. Anytime we want to switch, what we're going to do tonight is to hear from people in St. Louis, maybe hear some more from people from Illinois. But we're also going to look at election results in Missouri. If anybody can pick them up, figure out what channel is covering the election, we'll look at that. And we will also be, if we can get some live stream going on from the Jill Stein campaign, and that looks good, we'll do that. But first of all, I want to emphasize that it's very important to have a brief discussion of people who've actually run for office in St. Louis. James, could you tell us a little bit about your campaign and what you did to put yourself to get on the ballot in Missouri?
Sure.
Okay, 2 minutes.
Hey.
Hey. We're kind of watching St. Louis have their party. Go ahead, guys. Sorry. Welcome, Scott Free.
Hey. Okay, I ran for office. I ran for Missouri House District 83, and I did very little to run for it. But Don had said that it's really good. We gotta have people on the ballot, so it didn't have to be super involved. Like, I didn't spend any money on my campaign, and I didn't do a lot of campaigning actually, but came up with a platform, and that went up on the Missouri state page, and then yeah, I mean, that was basically, I had to fill out some paperwork with NBC, but it was pretty simple, at least, to have somebody on the ballot. And I thought it was, I went to vote today, and I thought it was really cool. As I was going down the ballot, I didn't have to like look up, like, who should I vote for?
Well, I guess I'm going to mute because they're saying it's hard to hear.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. So welcome, Scott.
Hey.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good seeing you.
We'll continue on. I wanted to give them a chance to say a few words, but
yes.
Yeah. So it looks like Prop 3 is going to do okay. Looks like they're going to get that going, and that's to ensure reproductive rights in Missouri. So yeah, and Scott Free is my fellow Illinois Green Party organizer.
Hey,
Welcome in.
thank you.
And he was an election judge today, which I didn't get the pleasure of, but I get to
I
be
just
here.
got back,
So how'd that
and
go?
I will report. I don't know what the rules are. I don't think I can report any official things, but I can report on unofficial things, which is our building had 2 precincts, and in the write-in slots there were shout outs for Palestine and Gaza, so that's a very positive thing. So yeah, that was fantastic. Like I said, I don't think I'm allowed to talk about actual votes, but there were votes. So
Yep.
yeah.
You didn't hear Chibu's story. Can you give him a quick rundown of what happens?
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so I had a person who voted for me. Thank you very much. In St. Clair County, which is downstate, like the very tippity bottomest of Illinois, which includes Edwardsville and the Metro East community. A lot of folks.
Yeah.
They said that when in their mail-in ballot, there was no place to circle in a write-in candidate for a congressional district. Yep. And so then they ended up spoiling the ballot so that way they can potentially get a new correct one.
Okay.
Nope. Both the physical paper and the electronic paper had no space for a write-in candidate, even though I was on the list for write-in candidates for Illinois District 13.
Right.
Which means that all of those people who actually have shared, we're voting for Chibi, we want to anti-vote, we're going to write her in, their vote actually could potentially be undercounted. And I'm trying to see even if all of these major newspapers are looking at write-in candidates or others, and I'm not seeing really any. I'll assume that by Thursday we'll know how many actual write-in ballots that I got. But yeah, so St. Clair, downstate Illinois, that's all these people gone.
It seems like that should be a story like we could sue, because you are an official write-in candidate. So that means the ballot has to accommodate any official write-in. So it seems like invalid ballots.
Yep.
And even, that in itself would be worth challenging for just to get the word out about that. Because I think that's one thing that people really need to get a sense of, is how much goes on to try to keep the Green Party and others from ever being seen. And, I certainly saw a lot of comments on social media from people who were learning about the Nevada scandal that happened with the Green, where the Secretary of State gave them illegal ballots, and the Democrats went in and sued and won. I mean, people were shocked. And so I think that kind of news is important for people to get, just how many steps they do to try to keep us, invisible. Yeah, we should make that a little project in the Illinois Green Party to maybe, talk to a lawyer to see about the possibility of taking some kind of legal action.
Yes, and we will. It's unfortunate how the answers we've been getting is after election, we can look into it. And so regardless of what happens tonight, yes, we will be getting to the absolute bottom. Because this is what I was telling to these folks earlier. What I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing is individual people are making small, detailed decisions that that if you weren't looking or paying attention would cause no harm. We've never had a write-in candidate be for the 13th district in this time before. So we didn't know how to do it. We didn't know how to do this because it's the first time, it's this thing. And because one person won't know or they give you a bad answer, then the large result, the ultimate result in this congressional district is the election is they are ruining little d democracy. And yeah, it's heartbreaking and annoying. And it's also, why am I this fear that they have? Like, I'm just a first time going, I'm a writing candidate, you know, going against this huge machine. I shouldn't be a threat to them right now, but they don't even want to give the goal and the empowerment of a potential win or 500
dangerous.
votes.
When that shit lights on fire, it goes like wildfire.
Yeah.
No, in the same way, like it just happened that there were 2 precincts in our room. And so I made sure with our precinct that we handled the writing candidates properly. So I got that all done. Well, the other team was behind. So I went over there. Sure enough, I could see they weren't going to handle things properly. So I got in there and I did my little stuff to make sure that the votes were going to be counted, because otherwise they weren't going to be. And so, yeah, I mean, at every step of the way, it's like we have to be in there pushing and pounding and just make sure that, you know, we get noticed.
Yeah, I went to the training to be an election judge. I didn't get selected, which is fine because I'd rather be here.
Yeah.
But they were talking about that, and they pulled out the sheet and said, you have to have this available. And look at all the writing candidates, and the whole room just started laughing.
Yeah.
And I just started turning red. You can ask my friend Yvonne. I'm like, you know,
No, in our training,
it's not funny.
No, right. In our training, the guy's example was Mickey Mouse. I mean, they definitely like a joke.
Yeah.
They treat it like a joke.
That's okay until we get on there, and then they're gonna have to take us serious.
Right.
Yeah. How's that saying go? First they ignore you.
So the communists? Yeah.
First
they came for the
No, that's a different one.
I'm trying to remember.
Is that the first they came for?
First they laugh at you, then they yeah.
First they
I know what you're saying, but it's not the other one.
First they laugh at you.
First they laugh at you.
Yep.
Then they laugh at you. Then they fight you.
Then you win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear?
Oh.
First they laugh at you. First they ignore you. Then they laugh at you. Then they fight you, and then you win.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. That's the one I was looking for. But I need more caffeine.
If these ideas were so horrible, they wouldn't spend so much time and money fighting them.
Oh,
that's what I mean. They spent
so much time and so much money.
How much was it? Like 10 times the money that the entire Jill Stein campaign has just on attack ads.
Right.
Recently, the
it
difference
was $1 million. Yeah, it was $1 million campaign to pay for the ad times. Yep.
Yeah. So if they weren't worried about us, they wouldn't be spending the money. Just saying.
Right.
And there's another thing that I mentioned, that if you're 18 to 25 and you are a male, the draft is back.
Yeah.
And it is automatic. They can find you. If the president decides we're going somewhere, they're going to come find you. And they're thinking about adding women. And I read the bill. I don't know if this section got passed, but you don't even have to be a citizen. So I'm thinking those detention centers at the border might be potential soldiers. Like, that seems conspiracy, but I don't know. Yeah, so we got a comment here. Let's see. I've heard the verse, back then didn't know me, now I'm hot, all on me.
There you go, Jay.
That's cute.
You go, Jay.
Anyway, so
Mm-hmm.
So it was a long day, huh, Scott?
Yeah, it was a long day. It was a very long day.
Thanks for joining
but
us.
you know, we got it done. We got it done, and very low turnout, but I think it's just because there was so much early voting, just an incredible amount of early voting in Chicago. You could just see every polling place that was doing early voting had long lines. So
Yeah, that's
lines for hours.
my stepdaughter in Indiana voted for the very first time. I talked her into going to vote for Jill in Indiana, even though she's not on the ballot. I'm like, do it anyway. Her first vote was for Jill. Woohoo!
Oh, oh my gosh.
And I thought
This
that
is
go ahead, Shibu.
Oh, I got a message from some folks in the community and said, "Hey, we're so proud. We wrote you in. We wrote you in. We wrote you in."
Oh, she froze.
Yes.
Go ahead, Scott. I think Chibu.
Well, I was just gonna say, I thought it was really cool the way the Jill Stein campaign coordinated with Claudia's campaign, so that in the certain states, because of the litigation, one was not on a ballot or one couldn't write in, that they were telling the folks to in the particular state vote for the other person, so that at least we were still making a voice for alternatives. So I thought, and that was a great idea as a way to have a team there with Green and PSL, and that was a fantastic idea.
Yeah, I think that's the beginning of something big.
Yeah, that's
everybody do their work whichever group party is successful. Let's try to get them elected in that state.
Yeah.
Because and someday we'll just form our own big party and keep it grassroots.
And also,
but until then, we got to do what we have to do.
Yes. No, I mean, it's a great push for unity, but I also think that there's so much propaganda out there that we just have to constantly battle. And I see the battles going on social media where, like the one of all the people that just say they're not going to vote. I'm protesting, so I'm not voting. And, then we have to counter that does nothing. That's the same as an apolitical person. That doesn't do a thing. If you care about something, then you have to vote for somebody. And I will say I was really encouraged, even like Rathbone. I don't know if you follow him, but he does the really cool, TikTok back and forth, where he plays. Yeah, it's brilliant stuff. And I saw him in an interview on Eddie Liger from Midwestern Marks, and they're talking back and forth, and they just have all these great ideas, but then when it came to like electoral, they just weren't there. And Rathbone kind of didn't, and I was so disappointed. Well, now the last tweets I'm seeing, all he's tweeting about is get to 5%, get to 5%. I was like, yes, Rathbone. Yes.
So Carla, you know who that is? I haven't heard.
Oh yeah, actually, I know friends of Rathbone.
Oh, wow.
Rathbone's a musician, and I know their record label.
Wow. Okay. But yeah, he's definitely a TikTok sensation. There's no doubt. I mean, he's huge, massive. And so I love to see that. Like I loved to watch. I've watched Revolutionary Blackout Network for a long time, and I loved to watch Nick Cruz, be super critical of Cornel West and rip him to shreds because he didn't have his politics together, and he wasn't really into electoral too much. He'll still say he's kind of anti-electoral politics. By the end of this campaign, he's just full out Jill Stein, and everything that's anti-Jill Stein, he's just attacking it. It's wonderful to watch. Sabby Sabs has just come on fully on board. Another person is Brianna Joy Gray. I mean, she is full on Jill Stein, Green, especially Green Party. That past this election, she is totally in there. And she wasn't at the beginning of this campaign. Not at all.
No,
No, not
no,
even.
and I think that we have to use all the tools we have. They
Yeah.
have the money. They have the money.
Yes.
We have to
And they,
use
Yeah.
protests and boycotts and strikes and voting. And
yes.
like everything we can get our hands on, we need to use it. Voting for the couch does nothing.
Right.
Actually, it helps the
It helps.
elite have
It
more
helps
power
them.
because you sat it out. So they
Yeah.
like that. Like, why
Yep.
would you do something they want you to do?
Right.
My personality is you tell me you don't want me to do that, you tell and I know it's right, or you tell me I can't do something, I want to do it extra.
Yeah.
That's kind of me. I'm like, oh really? So we did have a comment here that I'm going to put up. Oh, that's Jay. The election judge I spoke to in Chicago said the average time for a voter in the booth was an average of 45 minutes or more. Does that sound about right? Well, you had low turnout where you were.
I was trying to probably figure out who those judges were.
Oh yeah, I think he's referring to the time spent sitting there. It was funny. We had a person. On election day, for some reason, they only have one screen. Everything else is paper ballot. So it's kind of hard to get a touch screen. And there was this one guy, and he would just sit there forever before you saw him put his hand up to vote something. It's like, oh my gosh, he will be on the, I think he was 45 minutes on that machine.
Wow.
And for me, I watched this past, a couple months ago, I watched every Senate Democrat vote to starve and bomb Palestinians, and I made a vow I will never vote Democratic again in my life.
Yep.
And so that made it real easy to go vote in Illinois because it's all Democrats with no competition. So I went in or I voted for Tennille Jackson and I voted for Jill Stein and I left.
Nice.
There was nothing else to vote for.
Nice.
So,
exactly.
Right. I am not going to vote for them ever.
I know. I mean, that's the red line. And
yeah,
I don't understand why people can't see it. I also don't understand why people don't get that the violence that we're paying for over there has everything to do with the violence they're paying for here.
Yeah.
And they're not representing the people. They don't do what we want. We have 0% chance of getting anything that we want passed because they don't care what we want.
No, absolutely not.
And it has to do with the police violence. I mean, the IDF trained the NYPD.
Right.
I mean, So we have another comment from Jay. Let's see if I get the right one. Cornell stated in interviews that he didn't want to go through the Green Party nomination process and he was too old to deal with it. He felt he was entitled to the nomination.
Yeah.
Didn't know we were talking about Cornell, but okay.
Well, but that's what got Jill in. Because no, Jill was not planning on running. And these people that, again, it's always fighting all this damn propaganda crap. Oh, she just shows up every 4 years. She didn't run 4 years ago. She was not planning on running. And because we had a high profile candidate that we all had great intentions about with Cornel West. I mean, a celeb and really cool, and then he kind of in the process, he showed himself for what he was, and it wasn't pleasant at all. It was not pleasant at all. And even, you watch the way, like I brought up Revolutionary Blackout Network, and the way Nick really challenged him with stuff and really challenged him. And what happened? He just started going around to the other places talking about how awful RBN is, right?
Yeah,
that's really pathetic. And Jill got challenged, right? Really hard. And Butch got challenged really hard. And what do? They figure it out. They work on things. They talk it through. So it just, again, it shows Jill's character, shows Butch's character. And unfortunately, in that case, it showed Cornell's character. And so I'm so glad it happened the way it did, because I don't think if Cornell had been the Green Party candidate, I don't think we would have made the strides we had and made all the, I mean, what Jill has done every step of the way of this campaign has been brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And the Green Party is much, much bigger because of Jill Stein's campaign this year. There is no doubt. I mean, the Green Party is on its way back up because of Jill Stein.
She is the reason I'm here.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. And the reason I like her is because of Gaza. And,
Yes.
you know, it was a toss up for me with Cornell. You know that. Like,
yeah.
I tried to get him on the ballot here, and that didn't work out. And then I started looking around. And, you know, once you put your head down to do something, you just keep doing it.
Yeah.
But then he left the country, which gave me pause. I'm like, you're in the middle of a presidential campaign. What are you going to Scotland for? I mean, that's cool and all, but we need you here. You're trying to build this thing.
Yeah.
And I've also learned through lots of trial and error that you cannot build something while you're running it. You have to have structure first.
Right.
I went through that with People's Party, and people tried to tell me it was not going to work, and it was, you know, doomed, and they weren't treating people well. And it, you know, I wanted it so much. It was so hard for me to see, but I see it now.
Yeah.
There was some stuff that happened behind the scenes that I did not agree with, and I finally had to leave.
Yeah.
So, you know, and this, it's a similar thing with the Cornell campaign when he started kind of bad mouthing Jill, and I'm like, wait, what? No, we don't do that.
No.
You know, I'm like, how is that truth, justice, and love? That's what you're running on.
Right.
That's not truth, justice, or love.
Right.
No, you don't cut down the other lefties. You just don't. You can challenge them. You can ask questions, but you have to do it in good faith. You have to do it from a place of love.
And the other thing, I guess, maybe I kind of was aware of, but it really came home to me this year was just, I mean, I've been with the Green Party, so there wasn't really a question about this, but you can see an independent run is just an ego trip, because once that run is over, there's nothing there. I mean, JFK drops out, there's nothing there. When Cornell West will end as of today, there's nothing there. You know, the party is the point. That's the point. And Jill totally understands that. I mean, Jill is Jill. Yeah.
Write that down. The party is the point. I love that. That is brilliant. I love what is that, alliteration?
Oh.
Jay says there were 7 touch screens by me. They said people were
really
just overwhelmed with all the pages of the ballot. It was over 70 judges in Chicago and Cook County. Oh my God.
This was today, Jay? Because wow,
so.
that's interesting if it was today, because then we're getting screwed over in our little area because we only get one touch screen.
Thanks, Jay.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of like it. So it's fun. I like meeting people. I talk politics all day anyway, so why not do it here?
Yes.
Yeah. So I really enjoy it, and I'm glad that that they're allowing me to do that. I didn't get really asked. I just said I'll try it.
Right.
So, and they said, okay, here. So, I mean, that's kind of how volunteering works, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Not good.
so what happened? Yvonne's got an update from.
Why is mine write-in not being counted in Manhattan? 83.1% of the vote is in, and yet not one write-in is showing up in Manhattan, New York.
Oh.
Our vote's not being counted if they are write-in. I don't know.
So they're saying in Manhattan that 83% of the vote is in, and not one write-in is showing.
Oh my God.
I think there might be lawsuits coming.
Yeah.
55,000 votes so far for Greens.
There's only what?
255,000 votes been counted for Greens.
255,000 votes counted for Greens. For Jill, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, for Jill.
Well,
So-
I can tell you that there was Jill representation in 150 votes in one precinct and 100 votes in another precinct. So yes, and that's Manhattan. So yeah, no. They're cheating.
Dims.
They always
Dims,
cheat.
dims.
Yeah.
Those dirty dims.
Yeah.
You know? They just can't fight fair. I mean, if you're that great, you know, just let it be what it is.
Yeah.
So, Jay says in and around downtown lines were horrendous.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, well, it's going on 9. How much longer you guys feel like staying on? We could do till 9 and then just take
Yeah,
it easy, or we could stay on a little bit longer. I don't know.
Yeah, I will have to leave a little after that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
832 votes in Osceola County, Florida for Dr. Jill.
832 vote. Oh, did you hear her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Has there been any talk of percentage in Michigan?
Any
Is she-
percentage in Michigan?
No,
No.
I don't even know where they're finding this information. I'm asking people on the chat, and nobody can.
Is this the Jill Stein stream?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yvonne is watching the Jill Stein stream.
Oh, right. They're going right now. Yep.
Yep. So,
Well, good. That's a good source. There you go.
yeah, they would know.
I wouldn't be getting it, but
Yeah. So, yeah,
And
I'm
aren't
not
they in
surprised.
Dearborn? They're in Dearborn, aren't they?
Yeah, they're in Dearborn.
Yeah. Wow.
It always takes a long time to count write-ins.
New York City always takes a long
So,
time to count
she's
write-ins.
saying
Don't freak out.
Oh, that's a good point, because I only have knowledge because I was the election judge. Those votes haven't even gone into the central office. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. But what about the places where they're on the ballot? It's multiple elections, right? Yeah, we got to piece it together just like we do everything, right? That's until Mr. Rudolph Butch Ware gets his media thing that he's doing together.
Oh, he talked about that. Yeah. Has he been specific about what that is? No.
I mean, he was talking about making it Muslim voices, but also pulling in all the independent voices, you know, that are just kind of scattered everywhere, and putting it together into a network.
Okay.
They need their own network. You know.
Cool.
That'd be great.
Yes.
And I also heard he is fully planning on running for governor of California.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
California.
So yes, let's go. I'm ready. No. My friend Yvonne says, and we're all moving to California.
Just temporary.
I'm ready. I'll move there long enough to vote for Butch, and then I'll come back, I guess.
Come back.
Well, I lived in San Diego for 20 years, so I know lots of folks.
Oh, wow.
I can put the screws to them. Like, you gotta vote for Butch. So, yeah. So, we got a couple minutes left if we're gonna end at 9.
Okay.
Any closing thoughts? Carla, you've been very quiet, but I know you've been doing your own stream over there, so I don't know if they even hear me.
Well, my closing statement would just be what an incredible success the Jill Stein campaign has been for the Green Party.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just feel like she's kind of saved the Green Party, really. Yeah, I think the future looks really, really bright, and it's all because she was making the right moves. Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing I think you and I discussed is, this country needs the Green Party bad.
Mm-hmm.
Things are just, no matter who they pick for president, things are going to get really, really bad. I mean, with climate catastrophe and, the crazy, insane neocons that run the country, no matter who the president is. I mean, we've got, 2 massive wars going on that could, either one could go, into World War III. And no, it's, and again, they're absolutely doing nothing. They're doing nothing to try to stop this climate catastrophe. both of them are going to drill and frack their way to, our destruction. So, no, we need the Green Party, and I'm glad that we are getting energized. And and we will see you all on Thursday. Yes. Although I'm thinking of changing the name of it, Edie, to the instead of like the volunteer meeting, just more of like a Green Party hangout, because
Okay.
I don't like this idea that we feel like,
ILGP.
am I going to get stuck volunteering for something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just on Thursday nights at 8:00 for everyone. Just go to the ilgp.org events page and we'll have the link there. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to be more of a hangout, like this is here. Just
this is
talk and just
fun.
and meet people and
So go here, Illinois Green Party, ilgp.org. I think it's under Get Active or something like that. It's under one of the tabs, and I can't remember which one. But
events that we keep
events.
Yeah,
events. This event was there, and then Thursdays. That's what it is.
Yes.
Go to events.
Yep.
And So Carla, did you want to say anything before we end? It's so lovely to have you.
It's been a great conversation. I'm thank you for having me.
Yay.
You're always welcome.
It was nice meeting everybody.
Yeah, nice meeting you. Yeah, thank you so much, Edie, for doing this. This is fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
This is the place to be on election night. We don't need to see those other people.
No.
We're more fun.
Right.
Greens are fun. You need to come over to our party. You never know what we might say. Definitely not scripted.
No.
So I would say, hang on, Jay's got some stuff here. I also think that volunteer membership gets confusing for some.
Right. I agree, Jay. We're gonna change that. We're gonna rebrand, and it just be a hangout. Nope. Nobody has to join the Green Party or be an official anything. Just to hang out. That's what I want. Yes. Thank you.
Wait. And this is what I got. My friend Yvonne bought.
Brownie.
They're really
nice.
good. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm always down for some chocolate. I don't care when.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I would say thanks everybody for coming.
Thanks everyone for the comments.
Thank you. Yep, it's been great. And please like and subscribe. So we're gonna keep it going. Probably not Thanksgiving Day, but we'll be here every Tuesday doing the live stream, and every Thursday we'll be doing our 8 p.m. whatever we're gonna call it, hangout meeting.
Hangout.
Idea sharing, whatever we want to call it. I don't know. We'll think of something cool.
Yeah.
And if you want to become a member, you can become a member at ilgp.org, and that helps with things like what we just did. We got, see these signs behind me? Dun, dun. That was paid for by Illinois Green Party money.
Hey.
So, you guys like my Shawnee sign?
Yeah.
Wrong side.
Yeah, there we go. That's where it is.
Sasquatch wants peace.
Yeah.
So
and that's my little hand design over there. So
yep. And this was Scott's idea. I keep pointing the wrong way. There we go. Some people go both ways.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like the scarecrow.
The Green Party.
So yeah. Well, okay. And
all right.
See you guys next time.
Yes. See you soon.
Okay.
Bye everyone.
There it goes. Maybe.
I just